Hi, and welcome back. I'm Elle. I'm the Keystone Stitcher. Today is November 15th, 2024. And yeah, it's been a crazy day. So I have a light on over here. It might affect the lighting a little bit because it's the most dreary day we've ever had. So my lighting in here, let me know if it was really bad. I hope it isn't. So, how have you been? I've been good. I'm a little busy, a little crazy. I can't believe the end of the year is coming up so quickly. But other than that, I'm really good. So, would you like to get into what I worked on this month? So I'm going to recap first with the two projects that I worked on still for Dark October at the end of the month because I recorded on the 30th instead of the 1st of November. So the first one I have for you is Eyes of the Forest. This will be Eyes of the Forest. The artwork is by Inna Badanko. I purchased this from mybobbin.com, but it appears not to be available any longer. That just recently happened. I apologize. I'm stitching this on 18 count that I dyed myself. And let me pull back. There's the whole piece so far. I'm currently color completing using the color with the most stitches. And all I had to do was finish this section over here to finish off the color I was working on. So I'll put a picture here to show you where that was. And the next color, now this is kind of plans, we're just going to throw this in. The next color I'll be working on is a blend of 37.99 and 310, and it's going to be outlining kind of the face and the eye. And let me show you that on Pattern Keeper. There's a little bit. Okay, so you can see there's a few up here. There's a couple right here. No, that's already stitched. But you can see the vast majority is going to be in the edges here of the face. Some down there. So that's what I will work on. Okay, so I have not worked on that yet in November. Sorry, I knocked my tripod off. So, yeah, crazy. All right, and then the next one that I worked on for my last project for Dark October was One for Sorrow. This is One for Sorrow. It is charted by Heaven Earth Designs. The artwork is by Stephanie Pui-Mun Law. It is my oldest project to date, and I'm still at only like 13, 14%. No, I'm not. I'm at 16%. I was at 13% at the beginning of October. I'm now at 16%, which doesn't say much considering how old it is. I worked on the top of the body. So this is the top part that you see there, that dark color. That was where it was. That's what I worked on the first 2 weeks of October. Then it was spun again, and I worked on it for the last 2 days. Did I say November of October? Last 2 days of October, and I added the dark for the wing. Since then, I thought, let's try something. This is one that I absolutely love the artwork, but it's mostly just background, and it's, you know, the whole design is background, except for the bird. So I thought, well, what if I only put 100 to 200 stitches in a day? Would that help me see progress and get this done? So I did that for about a week, and then I just didn't have the time to include it, but it kind of worked. And here I am now. So I'm up to it with 16.29%. I didn't write it down because I've been currently playing with Pattern Keeper and deciding, do I want to chop off the last partial row of pages? Do I want to chop off more? Do I just want this to be long and skinny and just have a little bit of the area he's sitting on? I have no clue. So yeah, I think that's going to be one that I will see as I get to it. Once I start getting down there, I'll decide if I really like that, because if I chop off the last page, let me show it to you up here. There's a knot towards the bottom. If I chop off the last half row of pages, that partial row of pages, I'm going to lose that knot, which is probably the most interesting thing in that whole bottom half. So anyway, this is where One for Sorrow is now. I finally filled in all of the little ninja stitches that were missing through here, and next month will be 4 years since I started this, the end of next month, and I finally have a page finish. I also came down and finished all of this, so this is done, and then I was filling in here. So, and I know I have columns here I think when I wash it and stretch it, it'll come out. That was me learning to stitch on even weave. If I didn't say this is a 20 count even weave. I've now figured out how not to get rows. I don't think I'm going to have any more rows, but yeah, that was me. So that's where it is. I do love the bird. I love the shading in here, but yeah, we'll see. So the next one that I worked on, well, now we're going into November. So in November, I worked on life support whenever I was sitting in front of the TV working on black. This is what I call my football stitching. So this right up in here was page 8, and I finished page 8. This little section here is 11, and then this section down here is page 12, and this is the very bottom of page 12. So yeah, I'm just bringing it down. This design has 50,000 stitches of black. I'm just shy of 20,000, so that means that most of the black is down here. I have a row and a partial row left. Let me pull this down now. I don't know if I can, okay, so there we go. So this is long and skinny. And this is one of those projects that, now I can get my Nerds hoop on this, barely. But this is one of those projects where I cut up my fabric. I'm very stingy with fabric, and I'll do a 2 to 3 inch margin on the project that I start. And then I'll save the cutoffs. This was saved, and when I did the math, I knew this would just fit. So that's why this has very little margins, because I use up those scraps. So that's life support. And oh, I haven't been telling you percentages. Eyes of the Forest is at 28.92%. One for Sorrow, I think, is 16.29. Life support is now at 24.17. And life support is on, let me show it to you again so you can see it, is on a 20 count Aida. This is Aquarius. That's pretty good color. It's by Color and Cotton. So then I had a new start. And my new start was Children of the Forest. This is artwork by Emily. I'll put her name on the screen rather than butcher it. And I started this to participate in the UnconventionalXStitch kind of raffle, but I wanted Jody to know how much we appreciate her and hope for the best for her, that her family's getting settled. If you somehow are been living under a rock and you missed it, Jody lost her home. Her business was in her home due to a fire. So yeah, they have to restart. They're all fine, including their pets. So, where did I start? Here's my start. I'm going to bring this in real close. So you can see I have a little bud starting here. I think this is a bud here. There'll be another bud about here. And then right here and right down below are the first 2 birds. So I'm really, really happy with that. Now I was hoping to have all of my new starts reach at least 2%. Or my restarts, and this is at 1.62%. So I'm hoping this will come out some more so that I can get further. And I think what I'm going to do with this, instead of working across, I think I'm going to work 2 pages down, because that way I'll see 3 buds and 2 birds. And so yeah, there's a lot of background, but there'll be a lot going on in that background. So I'm really, really happy with that one. The next one I pulled out was Night Fairy. This is Night Fairy. It's by Lenart. And this was originally a kit. It's not available as a kit. I purchased this as a pamphlet from Amazon. It's still available. I think it's like $10. And you get both Day and Night Fairy. I'm only doing the Night Fairy. I thought I could finish this. So I thought, okay, I'll do like 2 days on a project and then 2 days on a Night Fairy. And then I'll do 2 days on a project and 2 days on Night Fairy. But then I realized this is going to be somewhere in the range of 40,000 stitches. It's a paper chart, so it's, not precise. And I thought, there's 6 pages and I'm only on page 2. There's no way I'm getting this done. So I have almost finished page 2. You can see there's little bits here. I think there's a little bit there. So there's little bits that are missing yet. Let me see if I can bring that in. You can see. And here's where it was. So I'll keep working on that. This is on a 16 count unnamed antique white. It had called for 16 count, and I thought, okay. And this is a combination, so you can see over here. See, these colors are real light because the moon is shining through. So it's the same colors that are used up here, but you're using one strand, and up here you're using two. And so this is one of the few projects. Yeah, I didn't give my disclaimer, did I? This is one of the few projects that I'm doing a combination. Everything else that you see, I am doing 2 strands over 1 because I like using the loop method. Okay, the next one I pulled out was one that I wanted to see a page finish on. This is Only the Lonely. Artwork is by Adrian Borda, charted by UnconventionalXStitch. You're going to hear that a lot. I think I had currently, I have 3 non-full coverage pieces. I have a total of 15 projects, and at least 5 of those are by UnconventionalXStitch. So this is Only the Lonely. I'm stitching this on an 18 count Aida, and I finished this page. So let me bring that in. You can see there's a lot of confetti, but you know what's really funny is I would never do I'm going to pull it back so you can see the effect. I would never do a max color. I typically don't like a lot of confetti, but I love stitching on this. I could stitch on this, pull this out every day. So I'm going to bring it in so you can see the difference between where it was and where it is now. And this one is now at 11.8, can't remember, 3%. Okay, so then I had a weekend where I did 2 starts, and I did a start and a finish. So these are for my grandchildren, and I received a sticky board in the mail today, so I can finish these off as ornaments. This is Satoru, is that how you say his name? I think the chart said Gojo Satoru. I'm not into anime, sorry guys, but that's for my granddaughter. And you can see here's my hand, so they're pretty tiny, and that took me 1 day to do. And then I had to do one for my, and that's on Jade by Picture This Plus. It's an 18 count. This is on 18 count Earthen, also by Picture This Plus. I purchased, they have little, like, how big are they? 8 by 10 pieces, something like that, and they sell them for around $5. And so I'll occasionally pick up one to see if I like the color. And I'm glad I do before I pick up a large piece and then not like the color, because like this one, I don't think I would want to use this for something large. Excuse me. And again, you can see my hand. So this is a Pokemon. I can't remember his name. It has a dinosaur, so it ends in Sar. Bulbasaur. I knew it. Bulbasaur, something like that. So that's for my grandson because he's obsessed with his Pokemon. Okay, so then the next one that I have is the restart that I did on Masquerade. So this is Masquerade. This is artwork by Christopher Lovell, however you say his name. And it's charted by UnconventionalXStitch. This is my 3rd start, and finally I'm extremely happy with it. It's on a 16 count that I dyed myself, and I finished the page. So there it is. And let me put in a picture of where it was. So yeah, there was quite a bit of stitching to do on this one to finish the page, but I'm so happy with it. And if I pull it back, I had been stitching this on a 20 count, and I'm pulling it back for a reason here. I think that when it's on the wall, that this 16 count, you will see the details and the shading better than you would have on the 20 count, being so much smaller when it's framed it up. So yeah, that one, I'm so happy. I'm glad I put it on a 16 count. And this one is now at 2.05%. So like I said, I wanted any of my restarts or my new starts to get to 2%, and I wanted a page finish where I could, and I got both on this one. Now, this one uses 939 a watt. Let me show you that one. And I'm toying around with the idea of actually backstitching, doing this entire thing. That's all 939. And so you pretty much outline the whole area. So what I had seen was this up here outlining the moon. And then when I brought it down and saw the detail, I'm thinking maybe, because this is like 600 and some stitches tall, maybe I'll do all the 939 and then go back and fill it in. Maybe I'll do rows and I'll do the next whole row, outline it, fill it in. I don't know, but I am thinking it would be nice to do the outlining on that as I go, and then the fill in. So what would you do? Would you do that? Would you do row by row? Would you do the entire thing? It's something I've never done before, so I don't know how I feel about doing the entire project. Okay, so then, just because I hadn't touched it in a while, I wanted to bring out my Paula Vaughn. This is Friendship Quilts. It is, sorry about my nose. It is cold and rainy, and I was outside, and now my nose wants to run from the cold. This is Friendship Quilts. You can purchase this still new, I believe, as a leaflet. But I purchased this originally in a book called The Best of Paula Vaughn, Book 2. And this is where I am. So, I made a huge mistake. This color that comes down here is the wrong color. One of the things about Paula Vaughn charts is that you will find several symbols that are similar, and I just picked the wrong one. So this in here is all half stitch, and that's the same as over here. That will be the siding. And then this should have been the same color, but in full cross. So I have to take that out and put that back in. So this will probably come out just so I can fix my mistake again. But yeah, it is so pretty. Paula Vaughn, they're detailed, but when they're done, they're gorgeous. Speaking of Paula Vaughn, that right there, I don't have a good, I don't want to knock there we go. That is October Quilts from the Quilt for All Seasons book. And by the way, those of you who asked, there's my Stephen King piece back. Told you it was only gone for Halloween. Okay, so the next one that I worked on is Broken Wings. This is artwork by Ines Guerrero, charted by Thread Geeks. I'm currently at 2.11%. Don't have a page done yet, but I'm at 2.11%. So you can see there I started getting some movement and some other colors besides whites and off-whites. And let me see, I'll put a picture here of where it was. So this one, I'm enjoying it. I can't wait to get down to her. But now that, when I was just up here doing all the white and the creams, it was a little boring. But now that I'm seeing movement coming in, that's a lot of fun. So this is a 20 count Aida that I dyed myself. This is what I originally had started Masquerade on. And we know how that turned out, right? So those are the projects that I worked on in the last 2 weeks. I do have some plans, which are kind of loose. Now, I didn't show you my grandchildren's gifts, the sewing project and the crochet that I'm working on. If you want to see those done, let me know and I'll show you in the next one. I pretty much just showed it to show you, what's out there. I know a lot of people love Harry Potter. But yeah, I can show you that. I just didn't bring it with me here. So I've chosen 5 projects that I'd like to see progress on. I'm looking at my notes here if you see me looking down. Of course, I will work on life support because, football's still happening. Broken Wings, I would like to finish more, at least get a page finish or close to on that. With Paula Vaughn, I definitely need to fix my mistake and we'll see where I go from there. Children of the Forest, because, well, that's new and, new things, shiny, you want to work on them. Night Fairy, yeah, let's get that page finished and see what else I can do. And then the other one that I thought I would work on would be Stone Expression. So this is Stone Expression. The artwork is by Giuseppe Miconi. also charted, same as life support, also charted by StitchingMoonDesigns, Megan, on Etsy. And this is where I am. So this is the last page of the top row. Let's see if I can't really get my face in there. So I would love to go in and fill in that last page. That would be nice to have that top row done before the end of the year. And I don't think I wrote down the percentage. This is somewhere around 20-some%. So those are the projects I think, remember I can always change, that I think I will be working on for the next couple weeks. Now, as I said, I will record on the 30th, do a recap of this last couple weeks, because then December 1st, I'm going to do Flossmas. And I've decided what I'm going to do is, as you can see, I normally do these large full coverage pieces, but I have, you know, the Christmas ornament magazines from Just Cross Stitch, and so I have Christmas designs that I would love to stitch, but I just don't think to pull them out. So I've picked, I think I have like 12 different designs that I'd like to work on. Some I can finish in a day, some might need a couple days. And then the rest of the day I will spin and pick one of my whips. And that way I'll get more progress on these before the year ends. And then if you follow me, I want to give something back to you. So last year I told you about scary and horror movies. This year, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do movies. This year what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you know of a free design and show it to you. And I will link it so that you can go download it. Hopefully they're all Christmas. We'll see. And I will try to make sure that I don't kind of repeat the same designers or the same websites. But that's kind of my plan. I figured that way, you know, instead of you watching me just do everything, there's something that you might have, that you might enjoy for yourself, might have. You know what I'm trying to say, right? So there's something that you might get out of this besides just company while you stitch. So with that, I think that's everything that I have. That was quite a bit when I look at everything I have here, for me at least. And if you're in the States and you're going to be celebrating Thanksgiving, I hope you get to spend it with your family. The kids have already made sure that I will be with them on Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving to you a little early. And for the rest of you, enjoy November. And I will see you at the end. Bye.